Hi, I'm Victor Margiotta, and this is The Community Show. My guest is Karen Mayo. She is a nutritionist. She wrote a book on nutrition. Excellent, excellent book, easy to read. I highly recommend it. So tonight we're going to talk about nutrition, eating right, and we're going to slip in the fact that we do need to exercise. It's important. I started the community show because I want people to get involved, and it's so important to get involved, not to complain about what's going on out there, but to do something about it. If the government is what bothers you, get involved in the government. If there's things that you think should be changed, do something about it. Don't complain. But this show is more about you and how you feel. And eating right and exercising is so important to your health. You really can't help anybody if you don't help yourself. So I have Karen here who is going to share her experience and her ideas about nutrition. So thank you for coming on, Karen.
Thank you for having me.
I really love the book. I think it's excellent.
Thank you.
And for one, it's easy to read. It's in layman's terms. It's not all this hard to understand language. It just is very straightforward, and it's excellent.
Thank you so much. I mean, I made it so a sixth grader can understand it,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. So, what inspired you to write the book?
My nephew inspired me.
Okay.
He came to stay with me during his sixth grade school year.
All right.
My sister, as a single mom, she enrolled into the Army.
Okay.
She wanted to have a better life for her son.
Right.
Scott couldn't go with her to boot camp,
No.
so he came to stay with me during his sixth grade school year.
All right.
And prior to Scott coming to stay with me, he was eating everything from fast food to TV dinners, and his favorite snack was in a bag with food coloring, red and yellow and blue.
Yeah.
So, and preservatives, and also, a habit diet like that. He was diagnosed with ADHD and was taking medication.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So when he came to stay with me, we just established a new routine. I made him breakfast. I packed his lunch almost every day.
Yeah.
And I made him a healthy dinner. We were in the routine for a good 4 months, and everything was going well. And I get a call from the school. They wanted to see me. So I went to the school the day of the meeting, and I walked through the doorway, and I said to myself, oh my God, I'm in big trouble.
Yeah.
Because there was the principal, the vice principal, Scott's teachers, and then when you're diagnosed with ADHD, you also have a special set of teachers. And then there was a person from the school district. So the teacher who called me on cue, she was like, Karen, don't worry, you're not in trouble. Go ahead and have a seat. And I was like, thank you. So I sat there and I listened to Scott's teachers tell me how pleased they are with him, that they were going to reward him with straight A's in math.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and honor roll throughout the school year. And he was in the top 10% of the kids nationwide with the online math problems. Wow. But the teachers were having a hard time understanding how he could be a C student at best,
Right.
always sliding by every year to straight A's and honor roll. And then they asked me the question.
Right. What did you do?
What did I do?
Right.
Exactly. I said, this was my first time taking care of a teenager. So I just did what my mom did with me and my sisters growing up, and that was healthy, nutritious food. So I thought to myself, if I can do this with a sixth grader, then I need to get out and talk to people and let people know that eating healthy, making baby steps in your lifestyle, and also it can reduce your medication or even help you get off your medication. So that was my inspiration, and that is my mission, is to help people either reduce or get off their medications.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
I don't want to get off track, but you wrote a little something about how you were raised on a farm and how, you used to have to weed.
Yeah.
And you used the weeds to feed the cows.
Yep.
And then the cows would, you'd use the manure to fertilize the, now this whole thing is, it ties in with this bullish farmer. I don't want to get too far off track,
Right.
but this is something that's is something that we should all think about. That the farm takes care of itself. That nothing goes to waste. Everything is reused, and it's all natural.
Well, I think there's actually a famous quote that talks about how you need farmers 3 times a day. So you're eating 3 times a day, right? And then you need a doctor once a day, or once in a lifetime, hopefully.
Yeah.
You know, you need a fireman, never, but they're here in case we need them, and also a police officer. So, but you do need the farmer 3 times or more a day. So absolutely, I mean, the bullish farmer, yeah, absolutely. Yep, is a documentary that I worked on.
Okay, so the holidays are coming.
Yes.
Now, it's impossible to avoid the cakes and the pies and the desserts. You know, I mean, this is the one time of the year where we're allowed to. You know, you can't eat like this all the time. It's not good for you. You know, I heard one time that they did a study with rats. The rats that they fed just enough to survive lived the longest, and the ones they overfed did not live long at all.
That's absolutely true. So our bodies really don't need very much food to fuel itself.
Okay.
You know, there are some people who, if they're not eating the proper nutrients, then, you know, that takes on inflammation within our body.
Okay.
So, yeah, sugar is one of those that is a huge component to inflammation in our body.
Okay.
And if we are eating bad, you know, this time of year is always great because Thanksgiving is just amazing, and you know, Christmas and the other holidays are coming, so those are always great.
Yeah.
But what you need to remember is to plan. You know, really plan on what you're going to eat, so you are taking care of your body, because sugar does lead to inflammation, and inflammation leads to chronic illnesses.
Yep.
So I would say, you know, instead of using sugar, use coconut sugar or monk sugar. You can use them the same way you would sugar.
Okay.
You can even use chia. I did bring some chia. You can use that instead of white flour.
Okay.
And you can always grind it in a herb grinder or a coffee grinder, or put it in a food processor.
Okay.
And it will go into flour, like you'll make a flour from it. They do have coconut flour as well. That's a great alternative, and it's healthy, and you're still having, you know, the not really bad foods, but you're not having the trans fats. You know, you're not getting that saturated fat.
Yep. Well, that's key, that we have to stay away from the fats. And it's essential that we eat right. But now we'll talk a little more about the sugars. Now, it seems like everything's got sugar in it.
Right.
So.
Right. So you really want to stay away from the white sugars.
Okay.
You want to stay away from the refined, because most of the refined has been bleached or has gone through a process, obviously, right?
Yep.
So the local honey is great. Like I just mentioned, the coconut sugar and the monk sugar.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much.
Now, you said your nephew, he snacked on foods in a bag that, you know, probably like M&Ms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What are some of the snacks that you suggest we eat?
Okay. Well, a trail mix. So
Okay.
we have the nuts and seeds here, and then we also have hemp seeds, and then I have cherries in there. So those are great. So those are your healthy fats. So we all need our fats, right? And with that, there's always talk about low fat, no fat. Just do full fat. I mean, don't do the low fat or the no fat just because there are other things inside of that container, inside of that product, like preservatives and who knows whatever else is in there. But when you have something that's whole and it's there's nuts and seeds, I mean, that's the only thing in it, and those are your healthy fats. Every cell in our body needs fat. So when people go on the no-fat diets, it's just you're hurting your body, and you're also creating inflammation as well. And we also have the homemade Gatorade here.
Okay.
Yeah, yep, that's it. So I put chia seeds in there along with coconut water and pomegranate juice. So that, yes, so that gives it the flavor, and there's amazing electrolytes in there, and you got the chia. The chia has been around since the Aztec days, so that's what they use for energy and also for protein. That actually has 16 grams of protein in it.
Now, you wrote in the book that before World War I,
Yeah.
we ate farm fresh foods.
Yes.
We didn't have a lot of fertilizer and stuff, but then after the war, something happened.
Yeah, so the companies that were making the guns and ammo, they started making fertilizers. And so what happened then is the fertilizer companies are actually now in our country, and they are taking over our genetically modified products. So a lot of the products that are genetically modified have a lot of chemicals associated with them. So that's where our chronic illnesses are coming from. That's where our a lot of the other diseases are coming from. I mean, we didn't have this 50, 60 years ago.
No.
You know, things were made differently.
Yeah.
You know, our food was made differently.
Yeah. And you know, food was made around here. It was fresh and farm fresh and direct to the family. Now sometimes we have it shipped from Florida. We get it shipped all the way across from California. What do you see is the problem there?
Okay, so, well, there's a lot of things wrong. So a lot of the produce, if you look on your produce when you buy it, there's like a little code on there, and it's a PLU code. And what that is it tells you if it's organic, if it's genetically modified, conventionally grown, and also it tells you where it comes from.
All right.
So if you see something that's coming from Mexico, or you see something that's coming from California, or you see something that's coming from Florida, at least you'll know where it came from, but you just won't know when it was picked. And you're talking about the farmers. So yes, so each season that we have, we are so blessed with fruits and vegetables and herbs and spices that are grown in each season. So eating seasonally is so very important for not only for our bodies, because that's what we're used to back in our ancestor days, but that's what's good for the soil. The soil is used to being rotated and putting different crops in it.
Yes. And being naturally fertilized and not using chemicals.
Right.
Now, you also talked about in the book being grateful and being positive. And sitting down and eating a meal instead of constantly being on the go and just eating fast food and grabbing something quick. Talk a little bit about sitting down and eating a nutritious meal and planning it rather than constantly being on the run.
Right. Well, we are constantly going.
Yeah.
We are. I mean, our society with technology and everything like that we're 24/7.
Yeah.
But if we can just be mindful, just maybe 1 or 2 days a week.
Yeah.
One thing would be to being grateful, not only for the food that's on your plate. I mean, really check your food out. Just imagine how it was grown, and then also when you put it in your mouth, just be
Take
mindful
a moment and enjoy it.
Enjoy
chew
it. Yeah, chew it. So we come to the chewing part, right? So I love this. So you really want to chew your food 20 to 30 times, almost to like an applesauce consistency.
Right.
Just so your body has a better time of breaking it down.
Yeah.
But let me say one more thing about being grateful. Being grateful, it's not just about you being grateful for what's on your plate, but it's also being grateful for the people that you surround yourself with, or the people in your life, or maybe a mentor. So I would suggest writing a letter to that person, and a handwritten note, and sending that letter and telling them why they're grateful, or why you're so thankful to have them in your life. And now this is a perfect time of year, because we're around Thanksgiving, and I would suggest that.
Yeah. Well, speaking of mentors, who do you appreciate? Who's guided you? I know you have a lot of teachers but even what books would you suggest besides your own book to read? What's a good book to read?
Oh wow, wow! There's so many books. Yeah. I would say number 1, the Bible.
Well, of course.
Number 2, oh gosh, There are so many books. Oh, that's a really good question.
Yeah.
I have, okay, so Dr. Andrew Weil
All right.
is a great teacher. Dr. David Katz is also great. And also David Avocado Wolf
Okay.
is really good too.
Yeah.
I would
Is that
say
his real name, Avocado, or is that his
no.
nickname?
I think that's. I don't know. I don't know if he's got it, trademarked or not. But
All right.
but he's really wonderful.
Yeah. Well, those are all good suggestions. I highly recommend reading the Bible too. But that's great. All right. I don't want to scare people. We don't want to scare people. You can watch the news and get scared all day long if you want, but we got the good news here. And snacking on some of this stuff is huge. This trail mix is excellent. It's got the chia seeds, it's got the almonds, it's got the sunflower seeds, and it's really good for you. So if you're going to snack during the day, put some of these together and eat this stuff if you're going to snack, especially on the go. Now, you mentioned coconut milk. Let's talk a little about that.
Sure. There's been a lot of news about coconut oil and how bad it is.
Yeah.
But what they're not telling you is that it's not bad for you. It's just how it's absorbed into our bodies, right? So coconut oil and avocados, they are medium chain triglycerides. And those are burnt and used in our body very differently than other oils. So as long as you're not taking the coconut oil or anything coconut and shoveling, cups in your mouth, there's no reason why you shouldn't be using coconut oil. Right. You can cook it. It also cook with it, and it also burns at a higher temperature or cooks
so
at a
it
higher
doesn't
temperature.
break down.
Right. So it doesn't break down because of the medium chain triglycerides. You can use it in your skin. You can use it in your hair, in your smoothie, and also you can actually whiten your teeth with it as well.
That's pretty good.
And I also want to say that we also have the seaweed here. Seaweed is really great, has iodine in it, and it's a great alternative for a snack during the day as well. Yeah.
All right, now the problems that we face today, heart attack, stroke, cancer, it's killing a lot of people and at a younger age. And these things can be avoided by eating right.
Yeah.
And exercising. And also smoking and alcohol consumption are also bad.
Yeah, those are really bad habits that we have. And those are actually habits that are killing people not only at home, but also at work. So in the workplace, those are really bad habits to have. But most people understand that smoking is bad.
Of course.
Right? But even overeating is bad.
Yeah.
So, and it's, we're talking about the holiday season too right now, right?
Yes.
So spending time with the family is so important, and spending time outside exercising is very important. So, either you can start new traditions, since it is family time, right? So either touch football or miniature golf or play golf. I know that's one of your favorites.
Yes.
Ice skating is great too.
Yeah.
And skiing, cross country and downhill.
Yes.
So those are all great family activities.
I know when I joined a gym, it was a lot better for me to get someone else who I can meet and go and exercise with. To get a partner, somebody, it pushes you, because the one day you don't feel like going, they'll call you up and say, oh, we got to go. So, it's good to have that partner to
the accountability partner.
Yes.
And actually, the accountability partner can also help you with eating as well. So you can write down, the best thing to do is write down what you are eating every day.
Okay.
And you can have snacks in there as well. So you really want to eat your fruit snacks in the morning, and then also have your like your nuts or a different snack in the afternoon, because you really want to burn off the fruit sugars. Yes. And also a little secret about the fruit is if you eating it in the afternoon, it's actually going to sit in your stomach and it's going to ferment. Yeah. So you're going to get the bloating sensation and also all of that other stuff that goes along with it. Okay. So if you're eating your fruits in the morning, your body will have a better time to break all of that down.
That's very good.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Yeah.
So you really don't want to eat fruits and vegetables at night then? I mean fruits. Vegetables are okay.
Yeah, really fruits. You don't really want to eat fruits at nighttime unless they're like maybe a couple of cherries to help you sleep, because they're really great for that. And that's also in the trail mix. There is the cherries.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. We talked about sugar. This was excellent. I was reading in the book about pH and acidity in the body. First of all, what is pH?
Okay, so pH is the potential or power of hydrogen, right?
Okay.
So in our body, we have a balance. And if our body is too acidic, that's when tumors start happening, chronic illnesses happen. So if our body's not balanced with the pH, so we have two hydrogen, and then there's one oxygen, right? So that makes water,
yes.
right? So we check the pH in the fish tank, right? Or the fish will die, right?
Of course.
We check the pH in the soil, right? Or the plants aren't going to grow properly.
Excellent.
And then we also check the pH in the pool, or else we can't go in the pool, right?
Yeah.
Our body is made up of 80% water, 75 to 80% water.
Okay.
So my question would be is why aren't you checking your pH,
Sure.
right? So if our pH is off or unbalanced,
right.
like I just said, a lot of things related to the pH would be arthritis, gout, and then we have the tumors. And then it starts, if your body has been acidic for a long period of time chronically,
yes.
that's when tumors start
Okay.
and other chronic illnesses.
Yeah. Yeah, but you talked about plaque in the arteries.
Yes.
That's horrible.
Yep. And one good solution for plaque would be our apple cider vinegar.
Right.
Yeah. So with this, you want to drink 1 ounce.
Yeah, not 5 ounces.
Not 5 ounces, no. And you need to dilute it with water.
Yeah.
So you need to put it in water, and sometimes it may be a little harsh still for people, but if you want to put like honey or maple syrup in it, it's delicious.
Okay.
And I work myself up to 3 ounces.
All right. So, but you can actually just put it in salad.
Oh yeah, you can totally do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So but tablespoons are okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We really, that's baby. That's like a baby. You really want to move it up a little bit. I mean, if you're doing 1 tablespoon, you're not doing enough.
Okay.
Sorry.
Right. So, I don't want to talk too much about pH levels, but just acidic and basic. So neutral would be 7. So
Yes.
below 7 is
acidic.
So if you're talking very acidic, we're talking 2 to 3.
Yeah. So
which is not good.
Right. So most people who have a pH level that low have cancer. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and the way you can check your
There
pH
you go.
is through using litmus paper. Remember back in school?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the litmus paper. So you can use it on your saliva first thing in the morning,
Yeah.
or second saliva, or your urine first thing, or second. It's up to you when you remember it, but just monitor it and also just keep it in check. And also, you really want to eat 80-20. So on your plate, you should have 80% of alkaline foods, which would be your greens, and then 20% would be your acidity,
Right.
which could be either animal protein, or it can be plant-based protein, or it could be your salad dressing.
Yeah. Now, lemons and limes are very,
Right.
you would think acidic, but no.
Right, exactly. So lemons and limes are totally different when they enter your body and when they're used by your body. They become alkaline.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it helps your body to detox.
Yeah.
If you're not feeling well, that's a great little concoction, or just to get some lemon with cayenne pepper and some ginger as well.
That sounds excellent.
Yeah, it's good.
But, so try to have lemons in the house.
Yes.
Put them in your water.
Yeah, or limes too.
Or limes. Very important.
Yeah, it is. You don't really, when you're out at the restaurants and stuff like that, don't leave your lemon in your water.
Right. Squeeze it.
Squeeze it and put it on the side.
Okay.
Just because I mean, we want to think that everybody cleans their lemons.
Yeah. Wow.
But just squeeze it in and put it on the side.
All right. Excellent.
Yeah. I think that,
We got about 4 minutes left.
Okay.
And I know you wanted to talk about vaccines.
okay.
So let's talk about vaccines.
Okay, what I'm going to give you about vaccines is the history on vaccines. Back in the 50s, we only had 4.
Right. Polio.
Right, that we had to get vaccinated for. Now, it's ridiculous how many kids have to have before the age of 2 that a pregnant mother has, and that they also give to a child once it's born. Also, I'm going to say that they also do that to pets. Doing more than 2 or 3 vaccinations at a time is very dangerous.
Okay.
And I'm also just going to say one more thing. Please do your research
Yes.
on the vaccinations that are going into your body, your child's body, and also you know, people that you care about.
Yeah.
Because aluminum is one of the metals, heavy metals, that leads to Alzheimer's, ADHD, and autism.
Okay.
It's one of them. And that's one of the poisons that is in vaccines.
Okay. All right, so we got that out there. So
Yeah.
and it's important. And this is just because, you know, we care about people. I mean, like I said, we're not trying to scare anybody
No.
here, but
Just
we're
do your
just trying
research.
to be mindful. And like I said, I love the book, and very easy to read. And I highly recommend it to everybody out there. So the holidays are coming. Try to, you know, like I said, we're all going to, I know I'm going to
I'm going to do it too.
Yeah,
I know, I love it. But you know, just being mindful of, you know, plan ahead and what you're going to put on your plate. Maybe even scope out first what you're going to put
Yeah.
on your plate, so you're not putting extra stuff on there.
Right.
Even when you're going to like holiday parties too.
Yeah.
Yeah, just scope out the whole, you know, buffet or
Yeah.
what's coming.
Yeah. So enjoy the holidays.
Yes.
You know, don't go too crazy. But, and then, you know, I know for me, I exercise, and then all of a sudden I slag off. But then when I get back into it, I don't try to get to the level I was at before I stopped. I take it easy and then work my way back into it. What are your suggestions on that?
Well, your body needs time to heal. So, you know, yeah, just go slow, take the baby steps. Maybe even find a different, you know, exercise that you
Yeah.
love, right?
Right.
So Pilates is great. You know, yoga is everywhere now.
Yeah.
Meditation might be a great way to exercise as well, because you need to calm your body and also stress levels. But yeah, I mean, just do what you can and make
Yeah.
sure that you're taking breaks
Right.
so your body can heal.
Well, they really say 20 minutes a day.
Right.
3 to 4 times a week, just taking a brisk walk.
Yeah.
So even that is easy enough just to get out there. You know, I know the weather's getting cooler and it's kind of hard to get back out. But, you know, just as a bottom line, just to start off, just get out there, stretch out, you know, walk 20 minutes, a vigorous walk, just to start off. And then you could start hitting the weights and do some weight training.
Right, and then also, when you are on your downtime, having fresh pineapple in the morning is
Yeah.
great, and also fresh papaya, just because of the bromelain in it. It will help your muscles to heal faster.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on. I
Oh,
really
my
appreciate
gosh.
it. I hope
Thank you.
everybody enjoyed the tips. There's a lot of great ideas in Karen's books, excellent recipes. So, you know, if you can't get this book, I know there's a lot of books out there that you could read. But thanks for watching. I'm Victor Margiotta, and this is The Community Show.